the VOD. Subscribe, follow if you like. Also, make sure you follow over there on TikTok, Miss Rita Lotus. Also, Miss Panthologist to you. You can book readings. Readings are open at this time. However, let's go ahead and drop some intel detail. Now, little birdies is chirping, and it's basically for me, like I said, I use myself as a prime example because I have been through it, I worked through it, and I hope that any of these situations that I'm going through, you will work through it and get out of it, okay? Now, granted, when it came to certain situations, right? Now, granted, I already knew about insurance fraud when it came to like Sheila, Georgetta, Carla, and Kiera and them, right? I already knew about all that. Now, one thing that I wasn't always 100% sure about as a kid, I just knew I did not belong with them. But I just didn't know the full backstory because anytime that I would ask questions, I would get beat on. But I never tripped on it. I forgave them. I was just working through it. I was just trying to survive it to make it to 18 because I was like, shit, as soon as I'm 18, I'm getting the fuck away from these people. That's the only thing I knew for sure. Now, when I end up going with this situation, because the ongoing situation right now I have is with James Henry Taylor V and his mama. But his mama, Regina Taylor Parham, is the main corporate. Now, in order for her to pull all what she has been doing, but her favorite go-to, ooh, Tommy Meeks is going to be my go-to when it's time for me to get this money. Yeah, baby, we already know. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, okay, well, how was she was able to get into the hospital? I was like, wait a minute. Her niece, Keisha, whatever, Kanitha, whatever her name is, she worked for Fort Knox. So, which was Fort Knox, Louisville, which is one of our main posts through the VA. Now, also, because it's a whole bunch of siblings for the Parhams, okay? Regina, Peppers, Catherine, Deborah, Simba. Then you got Lewis, and then you got Ricky. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but apparently they're not relevant at this time. But however, when it came for all this crime to go ahead, Lewis, he was surgical tech. Now Peppers, from what my understanding is, she worked for Social Security up in Nashville. From my understanding, right? Now the only power of attorney Regina ever had was the one from years ago when I had to fix Soraya's name, and that was Jim Parter who took that and helped with that because he knew he had owed me that because he knew that the state needed to owe me with the case that they pulled blindly thinking I wasn't going to catch on to it, okay? Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, Blanchfield Hospital, all of that. Like all that shit played a huge part in this, okay? Now, like I said, down all to Fort Campbell. Now, they use they nephew Anthony Parham. They used Sergeant Major when he got out. Anthony was like a first on that Sergeant Major list when he got out, but he had ties logistically in within the hospital. So I was just like, damn, Sharita, all right. But for me, for a little bit, I'm like, I don't think these people gonna do all this extra shit. Now, granted, I knew Regina ass was in some dirty shit because it was like James Chatty Cathy, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to be a girl and shit like that. Yeah, my mama, she fucked up all our other businesses from, always trying to run the money and scam it. I was like, okay, so your mama is a scam girl and a setup girl. Okay, got it, cool. So I was like, all right, it makes sense. So all that stuff. But like I said, October 15th, 2019, that bitch looked at me so dirty. That's when I knew some shit was up with her fuck ass. So they wasn't expecting when I filed for the divorce in 2021, it threw them all off course. Like, she getting a divorce? Yeah, I would get a divorce because 2016, as a matter of fact, 2016, 2017, they had a family reunion up there at his Uncle Pudding house. You know what was so fucking disrespectful? And I was like, bruh, you so lucky I ain't smack your ass up and I ain't beat your motherfucking mama to a pulp right here at this damn so-called family reunion, right? Why they gonna bring the girl that he was sitting there creeping around with, had messed with, and actually had a kid with to the fucking place? I'm like, oh yeah, that's his cousin. Let's take pictures. They all taking pictures. Mind you, I'm the wife. I'm married to this man. I'm sitting on the porch trying to make sure to keep up with my kids and stuff. Oh, you ain't got to do all of that. But mind you, in order to tailor the job more than keep a job, Girl, you not even working. You out here either tricking or you doing something you ain't got no. Come to find out, he was sleeping with more men than you can think anything. His sugar daddy had helped that white car, two-door car he had got. Because I was like, doing that trade-in and getting that wasn't even enough, right? So when I have pulled back from wanting to pay the car insurance and stuff like that, that's when he's just started getting diabolical, doing stupid stuff, okay? Mind you, Jasmine Charlize Taylor, his sister, she knew. Jarvis kept a distance because he didn't want to have no parts in it, right? But I'm like, yo, I'm still not thinking these people had no ties in it. But I was like, nah. After I seen that every time I would call and she started acting funny, I said, yeah, your bitch ass had everything to do with it because guess what? When it came down, James had enough common sense that like, hey, I'm fit to hop in my car. I know I'm feeling a little nervous or whatever. But James, he had enough common sense. When I called him, I was like, hey, you need to get here. Our son is gone. Well, my mama said, man, fuck your mama. And I told him straight up, our son is dead, bro. Fuck what your mama talk about. Fuck this divorce shit. I can look past this shit. Our son is gone, bro. Like, you don't think nobody's gonna be disappointed at that? We lost our kid. I get we're doing a divorce, but we lost our kid, cuz. Fuck all the rest of that. Like, I could look past any of that shit. Be here for him. The biggest disappointment was the fact you listening to your mama, nigga. I will murk her off the strength. My kid is going. Now the thing of it is, I have to figure out, was it your bitch ass mama? Was it my mama? Or was it these motherfuckers that was around me that they paid to do this shit? Patrick Luter, how the fuck you coming to a funeral? I didn't invite you. I didn't ask for your support. I don't want you here. I don't want you near me. That's your daddy. Bitch, I will kill you, Sheila. But it takes everything in me since I was fucking 15-year-olds to not put you in the fucking ground, bro. You still want to play around. I don't remember. You remember how they touched you? And then you remember all this? Sheila, you was the one laying in the bed next to me when James Marsh was doing what he did because he gave you $600 to pay for your rent. You allowed that grown-ass man, and I was only fucking 6-year-old. So everything when it comes to that insurance shit, as a kid, man, Sheila, Carla, I don't put shit past them. Oh, well, we used to do, Carla, did we forget that you used to do scamming shit before you became a registered nurse or a nurse practitioner now? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about on the 1st and 15th when we used to stay in Longford Ceiling, how y'all used to have them line up over there off of Mission Boulevard. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Before you went to Votech and you met up with Natasha, who's been your little swinging girlfriend for years. You've been keeping Natasha on the side, but you got another plan for Natasha to take the fall for all this shit because the fact that you caught her with Shane a long time ago. But you also needed to keep her quiet. Guantanamo Bay, what was it called? But see, when we have to sit here and talk about the facts, that's when I didn't. But then we talk about how Kiera got $20,000 when she turned 18 and it wasn't even nowhere near winter during that time, but she got 20K. But then if I recall correctly, we was already doing college stuff, right? But this was around the time where like I had witnessed a car crash over off of Colonial on the west side going towards Kirtland. So Colonial and Kirtland on the west side. It was a car accident. It was a Puerto Rican, I think they was in Puerto Rican, Colombian or something. It was a Spanish couple and the police had hit them. It wasn't, they didn't do anything. Wasn't turned that. I don't know what happened when the police had ran into them, but they had that issue. But I remember that they called me. I was in the military by then when they like got into their case because I think it took some time for them to go ahead and do their case. But low key, I feel like they settled out. And people ended up finding out who I was or what church I was, and they were trying to give me money for it. But you know who ended up with that money and who randomly just magically was able to move not once, not twice, but 3 times in a year? I was like, nah, because Carla, you ain't making that much money. You working hard. Carla was an RN, and at that point, Shane was working for Sanford Police Department at that time. So I was like, all right. But mind you, he had just got out as an E6 and he ended up getting his E7 in the National Guard. But E6 when he got out of the Army from Campbell. Well, not Campbell, from SEAL. So I'm just sitting here like, all right. So something just told me for all these years, I said, Sharita, just watch how they fucking, treating you, behaving you. And of course, me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't receive no love, no support from these people. So everything that I do it on my own. I ain't have to sleep with nobody. I ain't did nothing crazy. Anything that you probably seeing crazy on the internet, it was from them. I wouldn't put myself out there. I'm not sitting here trying to solicit myself. Even when the dude was sitting there like, yeah, I'm gonna tell them that she my hoe. She my bro. I ain't ever did that. I ain't on that time. And low key, bro, you been the hoe the whole time. They pimping your dumb ass out. I'm really trying to get you out of the situation. But if you tell Miss Hicks, you need to let her know. Don't come over here. Tell your man to stay over there. Cause y'all gonna have to have a funeral. I'm not playing with nobody anymore. And then it's like, why she always by herself? Why she don't like to have no friends? Why? Well, who else got? Stacy. Well, she got involved. Barnes, they got involved. I'm pretty sure Tracy fell out because she realized, like, oh, bitch, you was just trying to use me for a source. No, it wasn't never Tasha. Carla just knew who she could benefit from, and she knew who she could use and abuse, and she got what she could from you without trying to tell you everything that you needed to know, Miss Tracy McKay. That's all that was, Miss Tracy. Because they was the ones back in the day that I still wish to this fucking day that I let my baby stay with that woman to get her away from this bullshit. Because they had this personal vendetta, because any person that actually really genuinely fucked with me, they used to want to help me. They seen that I had potential. They seen that I had goals and ambitions. Courtney and Kiara still trying to be in strip clubs, snorting every fucking coke and pill that you can ever think of. But we're going to support them. We're going to support them not working. We're going to support them doing 304 stuff. You know, I know how embarrassing it was for me to be on fucking Fort Campbell and my own cousin, and you gonna ask her mom, girl, you need to make sure you get your first on or something, or get some people with rank. What? I gotta work here, bro. You know what? You can go home. I'll figure out. I needed to sit her. It was 3 kids, and I was already divorced. Plan. So I'm just like, I was like, these motherfuckers gonna do some dirty shit. Mind you, I didn't see them do dirty shit. You done already took out Niecy. You done already tried to take out Yvette. You done already helped. Like, they had this, when they have a vendetta and you telling them no and they can't get what they want out of the situation, trust me, they gonna try to strong arm you, but they would never physically strong arm you. Now, Carla would used to catch her little temper and want to do her quick one too, but then Carla, hey, her body ain't in the greatest shape as it used to be back in the day. Well, my brain is, baby, that tumor is taking up plenty of space, and the migraines and that asthma and breathing, it's really not getting you too much. And every time you getting mad and your blood pressure go up, now you're inflammatory. Now you're running other issues. I can't breathe. Regina, baby, your thyroid and your blood pressure and everything else, baby, listen, I'm the last person that you would want to go ahead and try to start something with. You started it. I'm just here to fucking finish it. That's it. But I didn't ever expect for these people to go as far to try to call fucking DCF, get my kids, falsely accused, and say that I abused. But you want to know what was the stupidest shit was? And mind you, this is the sad part, where everybody's fucking caught up, even down to the fucking local people that came to try to answer the call. They wasn't paying attention that every single call, anytime that you call the 988 number, suicide hotline, the veterans hotline, whatever, it's recorded. It's on a recorded line, okay? They're going to record how long you had to wait. They will record how long, who came to, meet you or whatever. Mind you, I called the helpline to get help because I did not know, like, where the money was going to go, because the money was running so fast for me to stay in these rooms. Okay. I didn't know that you could make a contract with certain hotels at that time. But however, I just knew I had to do that. I had to get food, but I had to pay for my son's stuff out of pocket because I couldn't get home care because I didn't have a home. I couldn't get everything situated or to the appointments on time because here comes you ain't giving me no money. Money on this. You're mad because I'm not on you and what you want to fucking do. Mind you, she still to this day won't tell no. She was tripping with me about $70. Mind you, she didn't tell nobody prior to that. Earlier that month, I sent her $3,200. $3,200. But Sheila won't tell nobody that. I had to pay my mortgage. Okay, but did that $3,200 go to your mortgage or not? What pissed me off was, oh well, I had to get an extension on the light bill. Well, shit, you been out here fucking and sucking and doing all this other shit. You still ain't been able to come up with the $300 for a light bill because the money that I'm giving to you, and outside of the money that I was looking to save to invest in my business, because I knew I was generating enough people to come in to be able to get my business off the ground. But when she pulled her dumb shit, and then she wanted to call the places. Guess what? Now I have to redirect my fucking money. Are you wasting your money on this? Well, ma'am, if you have to try to brand your business, it takes money to build a business. Oh, we can do this. Now, mind you, I'm talking to Sheila about getting this business started. Oh, yeah, we could do this. Okay, well, I'm going to take the money and go ahead and get the equipment and stuff that is needed. All my Cricut stuff, all my other stuff, all at her fucking house. So it's not like she could say, oh, she wasn't doing, she was spending it on stupid shit. No, it wasn't on stupid shit because it was part of my fucking business, you dumb bitch. Because it's like, why would I waste money if you didn't sit there? And then it's like, as I'm getting ready to start my business and get it started. Well, you know, other people, they got this and this. I'm not concerned about that. If this is a business for you and I to start and you're supposed to be my mom, why the fuck you can't support me? I'm going to school to do barber and get my nails, and then I would have had crossed over to go ahead and probably do Cosmo so I could do way much more. You want to know what her ass is? Yeah, if you stay home with your kids and quit worried about that, ma'am, how am I going to feed these kids if I'm getting blackballed by your dumbass sister to be working at the hospitals? Why? Because most of the time, anybody they used to call me about my resume, your resume is impressive. We can definitely use you. I could use the job. It's just extra money to make sure that I can be able to have the funds to care for my kids, get us a home, and get us a vehicle. Because I'm starting all over coming from Puerto Rico. You want to know what was even more funnier? Why is my mom in Puerto Rico at the time where she was thinking I was already fucking gone? She tried to use that girl Makia as her cover up, as her alibi, so that if she ended up getting that phone call to say that I had died, that she could have used Makia as the alibi, as the shoulder to lean on. I was like, shit, I'm glad Makia stopped fucking with her, because Makia, you would have been right beside her ass, getting locked up. Because they were like, if I don't know my people more enough, they research every fucking person that they involve in. They don't watch you about 3, 4, 5 weeks prior to them even approaching you. They watch how you move, who you talking to, who you kick it with, because most likely they already know. Most of the time they'll go get divination on your ass. Carla, and then she would use a Trinity to do it. But then I was like, why would she use that? But the only way that she could use the Trinity, Jamaican hoodoo lady way back in the day, that was like early 90s when Carla was doing this shit. Carla was doing hoodoo voodoo on everybody way back in the day. But this is, you remember, I remember that. I remember Keela, whatever happened to Keela, whatever happened to Wanda. It's a lot of people. Whatever happened to Christina? Because it was awfully crazy that all the men that they would get their friends hooked up with were abusive. That shit I used to find it really odd. Like the shit that certain people wouldn't ever pay attention to, I paid attention to. I was like, damn, every person that they would send all their friends to got beat on. Even down to Shells, aka Stacey Wells. I was like, damn, her baby daddy beating on her. When I realized that Carla, Milks, he was beating the fuck out her ass. 8 months pregnant, my mama rolling up and she hit that nigga in the car. Helped her. She was like, girl, thank you for getting him out the way. This is shit where they won't tell you because, oh, the Lord this. Don't play the Lord nothing, because I'm going to call you out every fucking time. The only time that people from people, y'all got to start paying attention. Why all of y'all against this one person? Because they telling the truth. Most people get mad at the truth. And they mad because it's like, damn, she wants to throw me out of the fucking car. I remember I wasn't supposed to remember that, but I did. But I forgave y'all though. I forgave y'all. But the thing I can't forgive is I want to know who set up the unaliving of my son. That's all I need to know. That's the reason why y'all talking about why she won't let it go. Who set it up for him? Because y'all got paid off of my son. Y'all got paid off of Marcus Antoine Phillips once they realized that shit, we caught up in this shit. You still don't think I feel some type of way when James Henry Taylor V took my son, James Taylor the 6th, to the hospital at the Children's Hospital in Colorado Springs? Anthony comes in known you was a soft motherfucker. But Anthony's sitting there, and when I confronted James, what's all these marks on my son? This is in Colorado Springs at the hospital. And he was like, huh, what you talking about? He acting like he on his phone. James was on, Big James. And I'm sitting here looking at my son. He got bruises all right here on his face, his jaw, all on his arms and shit. Still got the pictures of it. The doctor comes in. I asked the doctor a question. I said, doctor, what's all this? Oh, we had to strain him and things like that. I said, sir. And then I called her. I told her to call her other colleagues. I said, that child is autistic. I have brought documentation and I have put it on my son's records, Colorado Springs Hospital, Children's Hospital at that. My son is autistic. Oh, we didn't know that. His dad didn't tell you that? At that point, I knew James Henry Taylor V had no backbone. I knew he was a liar, and I knew he was low down, because I said, if you can allow your son and your child to suffer like that and you don't say nothing, and then Anthony Parham, you sat there and you didn't check your cousin, I knew that both of them men were less of a man, and it took everything in me to not demasculate them to the fullest. I said, Sharita, walk out of this, lose your shit. That's why I said, like, a lot of the times they sit here and they'll talk shit. Oh, she'll hide. She gonna go off. You absolutely right. Who would not go off about a death of a child? Don't worry, I'll wait. You unalived my son for what? That's the part I never understood. I confronted Sheila Deshawn Rawls so many fucking times about that Damien dude. I called Colorado Springs Police Department. They got it on recording that she was sitting there and said, I'm not giving up that man. You know, kids lie about being touched on. My daughter was touched on in your care. I did the proper steps, as any mother should have, to call the police, report it, and try to get that man. But you want to know what? You want to need to keep getting caught up in the same scams that you was doing back in the day, when I had reported about James doing that to me. Then Miss Deborah from Deb's Daycare, she went missing. Miss Dolores, she went missing. Anybody that I would tell, I'll go missing, or I wasn't allowed to go somewhere. What was Johnny Luter then? Did you ever tell Johnny about that? I guarantee you never told Johnny Luter about that. But you will listen to Patrick Monique Luter, who ain't never had no type of relationship with me. Patrick Monique Luter has never had no relationship with me. The time that I went with Patrick was the reason being how I knew what his scam was when it came to him messing with these, like he had his own ring with down low men. So these are men that cross-dress. These are men that are trans, all this stuff. Patrick had his run with that. Patrick was a pedophile himself. He didn't care if you was 15, 16 years old. If you was willing to do it, he was willing to get the money. If you was willing to marry him, he would take you on. I sat there and saw that. I lost complete respect for Sheila and Patrick at the same time when she allowed that this man knew he was going to traffic this little light-skinned girl that she was, 15, 16 years old, sleeping on the couch like, yeah, I'm fit to go run her to go ahead and get this money. Oh, yeah, come here, girl. She took the girl back to the room. I already knew what the fuck it was about. Told her to go to the couch, drugged her up, and went on ahead, got his little Cadillac, and went on back up to Oklahoma City. If not, he went to Joplin, Missouri. That was the story of my life. Every time any female or man that come in the house, I just see them get tricked out, turned out, and they'll pimp them out. If not, I will not ever see them. They was buried, cold case. Nobody knew where they went. That was Sheila and Patrick's thing. But see, oh, why you putting out here and why you gonna do this? Well, you still remember when you married that little girl out in Gatlin, and I needed you to come to the hospital. Your grandson was in there. Your grandson was in there. Oh, I'm about to get married. Fuck that marriage, bro. My kid is about to go into the system. I ain't ever been in no problems. I don't go out here to start no problems. Didn't even have no traffic tickets, no nothing. I ain't never had no traffic tickets, no nothing. Like, my record was that clean. You would be like, this girl is a square. You don't really do nothing, but you rough around the edges. I don't want to be, but I have to be. Considering all the shit that's been happening to me, you don't think a motherfucker would turn cold and hard after all of that shit? I think so. Logic was so. But then it's like, You're very antisocial. Wouldn't you be? When every person that you ever fucking encounter, even down to the police, lawyers, doctors, they sitting there gaslighting you all the time, trying to play you like you stupid to create cognitive dissonance. You got dumb motherfuckers that willing to take money to go ahead and snitch on some shit, so you got to keep some shit on you at all times. I need to make sure that how you coming is how I'm going to have to handle this situation. Before you to sit here, I'm going to go to the court. I'm going to teach you a lesson. I guarantee you, every fucking person that have my name in your fucking mouth, look me in my eyes and say that shit. And none of them will be able to. Right there in fucking Orlando, none of them approached. Ain't nobody say nothing. But you can call Orlando Help and make sure that you send her record to me. Carla, you was the first person to try to sit there and get my first child taken away. Because y'all didn't want my child, because there was somebody willing to go ahead and take my child and make sure that she had a fucking decent life. Can you keep this secret? Can you keep this secret, baby? You can do all the hoodoo voodoo work that you want. It ain't gonna work over here, baby. Return the sender 100-fold, and I hope it hit everything that you love. If not more, everything that you have will be destroyed. And I demand a decree that vengeance is mine, say the Lord. So I ain't got to seek no revenge, and I ain't got to touch you, because you're going to be touched. And I ain't got to do nothing. The lies that you tell, oh, you abuse your child. This bitch tried to call me, right? And I'm sitting here, why are you giving me this, as they gave me the paperwork trying to say I abandoned my child. I said, I'm not abandoning my child. I'm saying I need help. And I told that girl, I said, look, I'd rather you the system before you put my child in their hand. Well, we can give it to your mom. I said, you must have got some damn ties to somebody. Worst feeling in the world, Veronica Lynn Shields, PhD, bitch. How the fuck was you eating outside of college if your daddy, if Robert Shields wasn't giving you the money? You got mad and got in your feelings. I don't want my dad with this. I'm going to figure out how to get him away from this woman. But then you get mad because you end up meeting yourself through that woman. Veronica got mad because she ended up meeting herself through the woman that her dad ended up marrying after her mama died. So I was like, at that point, I learned how messy she fucking was. Then it's, oh, she mean, she hateful. No, I ain't mean and hateful. I can tell when you sitting here trying to do some dirty shit, and the fact that y'all, like now, I won't ever do nobody as a friend. I won't kick it with nobody. I ain't vibing with you. No, you can't cook for me. I don't want your food. Keep your shit over there. If it ain't money, what are we talking about? If it ain't business, what are we talking about? If it ain't you telling me that you closed this motherfucking case and found me innocent because I had no involvement, I ain't part of no trafficking ring, I ain't part of no drug ring, I ain't doing no hard drugs, and any drug that I ever did was marijuana. Drinking, I can't stand it, but if I did drink, it would probably be tequila, but half the time I don't even do that, because ever since I got poisoned from that boy with that Hennessy on June 5th, and it could have been June 6th that I got into the room, my son knew about this. My son knew about this. My oldest daughter knew about this. So until you had to feel that type of shit, and you had to go through it, and most of you would never fucking experience no type of shit like that. But you want to keep me back and hold me down and try to, let's silence her. No, let's hear her more, because there's more people that need to get through some shit like this. I'll be damned if I let some weak individuals try to break me down because you're in your feelings, because you lack emotional intelligence. You lack creativity. You lack the ability to keep going and create something better for yourself versus trying to hurt somebody, harm somebody. Kids, do what you will, but I'm telling you, any person have to report to me that my kids are not here on earth, and you better make sure you have. I need to see those pictures of them being in the morgue. I need to see them in the morgue. I need to see those pictures, because then that's when a bigger countdown. Because this countdown right here, I'm telling you, every person that you ever had to pay to stalk me, harass me, even down to Paula Kane, even down to Reva, Tim's, even down to every fucking person at the sheriff department, the Demings, because y'all forgot that I knew all of them. We all went to school together. We all was there. DeMario, DeMarcus, Corey, Jill Caprice, all of them. But you wanted to treat me the dirtiest out of all of them. Courtney and Kira ain't doing shit with their life but going down the fast lane, going down real fast. I've been out here busting my tail for everything I got. Everything. I ain't sleeping with nobody. I ain't bothering nobody. I ain't stalking nobody. I ain't doing no stupid shit. But you want to blackball me from getting regular jobs? Oh, she needs to do a waitress job. Shit, if I got to work at Taco Bell, McDonald's, so be it. A job is a job. A check is a check. But then you went to go to lie to the VA to make them try to say she's mentally unstable. She's not answering her phone calls and she's not doing this. What? So you can get my address to go ahead and stalk me again? To harass me again? But no one talks about how y'all did this to my kids, though. Talk. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. All love lost, no respect given. You better ask to the Most High and the Creator for forgiveness, because you're not getting that from me. Every single last one of y'all know I did not deserve none of this shit. None of it. You're mad because I stood up and I started speaking the truth, and all the secrets and sins that you've been doing. She's not gonna tell it. Yes, I will. It is indeed. Because it's not fair, because the more that I would have stayed silent about this, the more that y'all would have got away with this shit. Y'all would have got away with it. Shit, dog, I can see why in Puerto Rico, why they was willing to go as hard as they did. Shit, if somebody else mama came in and said, hey, shit, hurry up, do what it is what you did. Shit, I mean, common sense would be saying, hey, shit, that's their parent, they cool with it, shit. But ain't nobody bother to ask no questions and say, but you her mom, right? Because ain't no real mom gonna do that to their own kid. Why would you want to do that and then make up a lie trying to say that I was involved in something, and then you try to falsely get me arrested over some false allegations that you made up? But I'm 1,000% sure if they flip the roll and go investigate every single last one of y'all, everything that y'all accusing me of, y'all done did and is currently doing. I can feel it in my soul, in my spirit. Everything they accuse me of, I guarantee every federal person, every private investigator is looking at them doing everything that they accuse me of. I guarantee it. Even down to them making new reports, trying to pile up new shit. I guarantee you them private investigators and them federal folks is collecting so much evidence, they're probably shocked like, so you're really innocent. And they really just do this to any and everybody. You know what's even more funny? It's not only me that they're trying to do this to, it's about 2 other people in the state of Florida that they're looking at, because the accuracy about if they getting tarot readings or hoodoo or babalaos, they've been so accurate and precise about stuff that they did, even sins that they thought they had covered. They trying to get rid of them. I guarantee it. I can guarantee you in the next 33 hours or to the next 48 hours, but no later than Wednesday or Thursday, I guarantee a big time person that's over this case is going to receive so much fucking evidence, it's going to blow them. And that person ain't going to have no choice but to go ahead and order a protection service order. And then between the next 33 and 48 hours, I guarantee so much evidence is going to come in, and this person's going to be like, okay. Public apology. Because coming to me one-on-one, I do not want these people near me. I say it publicly, and I say this on this platform. I do not want these people near me. Please keep them away. I don't ever want to see their face. I think the most happiest thing that you can ever tell me is that they are already 6 feet under. That's the best thing you can tell me. Every single person that did me so dirty, that's the best thing you could ever give me. Outside of telling me that they get life in prison. I feel like every single last one of them deserve life, if not the injection. This was too far. I would never did this to nobody. Nobody. And then to play on a life because you didn't want a black person to have that, that's crazy work. The disrespect is so crazy. Even this little thing upstairs, this little smoke cigarettes all fucking day and beer that's calling and reporting, I need her locked up ASAP. Right now, I need it locked up. I need to see that. Please give me some reassurance somewhere. I work too hard for my peace. And I'm not fit to sit here and lose my mind, lose my sanity, lose my peace, nor my stability over somebody's stupidity. I refuse. Ashe.